right, man, let's talk about a hypothetical. I seen a mock draft that had, this is going to be a second video to go with this, but it'll be about Anthony Richardson, right? But it had Carolina moving up from 9 to 6 and giving us, it's supposed to be 62, was a typo. And that's a later second round pick that they got from I think the 49ers or something like that, to move up to 6 with us, and we move down to 9, and we accumulate a third second round pick for them to move up in this hypothetical to take Bryce Young. Now, I'm gonna get to Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson in another video, right? And they will move up in our spot and take Bryce Young. My thing is this: I'm playing hardball. I need number 40. I need 9 and 40 for that to work. That's how I'm playing. I want your earliest second round pick. If you want to move up to get Bryce Young, because I take Bryce Young. If I'm the Lions and I believe in him, and you know, my thing about Tua, before they threw Tua in there, he should have been physically built up to survive the grind. That was my thing about Tua. Tua should have been physically built up to survive the grind. So, you know, if I'm the Lions, you know, Tua there, and I'd be like, well, shit, we want 40, we just gonna take them ourselves. Forget, you know, leveraging another team, because in this hypothetical, Jalen Carter and Will Anderson are always gone. But it's gonna be interesting to see when I start looking at the Texas Tech kid. I looked at the 2 Clemson guys. Wasn't impressed with the white one. I was impressed with the black one. It was too early for 6. But, you know, yeah, I play hardball. I said, I take them, or you give me 40 and 9. And they probably going to be like, we need a quarterback. We'll give you 40 and 9. Or if I'm going to take 62, then I need a third rounder or a future second out the deal too. That's the only compromise that I will make. And I don't want no pick that's, you know, that's based on nothing. It's a straight, all right, if you're going to give me a late second this year, I need your third next year. But really, I'll play the hard ball for the 40. So that way, you'll have 9, and you probably can still end up with a good player at 9 that you really didn't have to reach for at 6. Because once Jalen Carter and Will Anderson go, unless somebody else step up, it really ain't no point. So now they open the door for you to draft a corner now, like, and really be comfortable with it. But I feel if they draft a corner, then they don't believe in Jeff Okudah, because they got enough young corners, bro, on this roster. They need a veteran. But if you don't believe in Jeff Okudah, you don't believe in paying him, hey, go get another corner. Because now I need to open you up to have 9, and I ain't wanting to be so high on the quantity of picks neither. But that open you up for 9, 17. Then you will have 3 second round picks. If you wanted to, you can move back into the first round, or you could take some of them picks and get future assets for some of y'all who got a pipe dream about getting a Caleb Williams. So you'll be all over the board. 2 1s, 3 seconds. I believe you got a third or a third or something like that off of Minnesota. That might be next year third. I think you gave a 4th away this year for the Hawkinson deal. You'll be in the game. You can find yourself in 3 first round picks. You can find yourself with 5 first round picks if you do it right. You maneuver right. So then the different question will be, they start moving some of those picks for known commodities. You know, you're already a young football team, ain't no problem keep being younger. But do you start moving some of them picks for known commodities? Some of them. With 3 seconds, 2 1s, you know, I mean, shit. You can turn them into 3 1s. I mean, you can do a lot with that. It's a lot of flexibility there. And then, like I keep preaching, y'all can get a lot of young guys back. You're going to get a lot of guys off injury next year. Just coming back and being in the fold. So, you know, to me, that's a great position to be in. You know, if you tell me, you know, I have to continue to start to dig deeper, and after Super Bowl I will, into the draft prospects and doing my research on them and all that type of stuff. And then I have a better understanding of at 6. Would you take the kid from Texas Tech? Would it be a reach? Would you take the kid from Clemson at Clemson, the black kid from Clemson, Murphy? That would be a reach. I like him a lot though. Wouldn't mind taking him at 9. So I have a better understanding. But you know, the great thing of the position they in, especially if they don't commit to Jared Goff past 3 years, is that you can leverage Carolina, and that's something that Bob Quinn wasn't good at. He wasn't good at leveraging nobody for position. He was an idiot. And Brad Holmes don't speak too much. Like, he don't give away too much. He's in a great position with Carolina. You know, with Richardson jumping up there, perhaps he's in a great position for leverage. Like, I can take Bryce Young, and we can put him in the weight room. We can build him up, woo for a couple years. Then, hey, he's our guy. Or I can build him up, showcase him in preseason, and flip him. So that'd be the ideal situation to move down. You know, the ideal situation in whole for them would be hope. You know, somebody else would have to jump up for Jalen Carter to fall. That's the big thing. Because the thing about it is Seattle was going to commit to Geno Smith. So you look at the teams ahead of them, right? They got the Raiders jumping up to 1. So, you know, Chicago's probably going to trade out of there. So somebody's going to take a quarterback. Houston going to take a quarterback. I think Arizona might be 3. They're more than likely going to take Will Anderson and Jalen Carter. I think at 4, it might be Seattle, or 5 is Seattle. And 5 is Indianapolis. They're going to take a quarterback. 4, Seattle. So your biggest nemesis here, if Chicago stays, taking Anderson, and then Arizona, Seattle, looking at Jalen Carter. So, I mean, and people talk about the alternatives draft-wise. I mean, free agency-wise, there are some alternatives, but I really ain't trying to pay that no defensive tackle that amount of money, especially if they can't get to the quarterback. That ain't their specialty. So I'm not playing another run plugger or a so-so pass rusher. So Hargraves is probably your best bet, but it's going to cost you. And it's another kid from Pitt that's built like undersized like Aaron Donald that a lot of people like in this motor. So like I said, you know, Jalen Carter is such a need. He like the perfect need for them. But in other scenarios, there's other guys out there, and like I said, you might have to pony up some money to fill that void. But in that scenario, you can have Carolina by the balls. But honestly, you really could have Carolina by the balls. That's the crazy thing about it. You literally could take Carolina by the balls and do what you want to do with them. And do what you want to do with them. You say, I'm just going to take Bryce. As you think about it, unless they really love Tanner McKee and, you know, Hendon Hooker coming off of injuries, they should be ready by training camp. Unless they really love some of them other quarterbacks, all the quarterbacks gone. And I knew as soon as Richardson started throwing the ball and running and shit, I knew that's over with. Somebody going to fall in love with the athleticism and the arm talent. So you talking about, I'm not high on Stroud at all. To me, I wouldn't move. I don't believe in him. But Stroud, Richardson, somebody gonna take Will Levis. Trust me, somebody gonna fall in love with the potential, and you know, he got the look, if you catch my drift. And then Bryce fall. In our scenario, we would love for Jalen Carter to fall. But we got 2 or 3 teams in front of us that's just as hungry for him as we are. So, I mean, it is what it is. But if you take Bryce, you take him. If you move him to Carolina, cool. And you pick up the number 40, and you pick up number 9, I'm fine with that too, depending on who all there. But then they will rule the draft at that point. They can do whatever. They can move back into the first round. You know, they can end up with a corner. You can take a corner and feel comfortable with it because you can develop the corner behind some guys. I mean, you can trade 2, you know, in a 3 and end up with Jalen Ramsey probably too. You know, you can move up if you feel like Bijan Robinson not gonna, you know, he at the end of the first round, like most of these running backs from the end of the first, beginning of the second. You can trade up trade a 2 and get up there and get them. So they have a lot of flexibility doing that. But you know, the flip side of that is who is you gonna get in at the interior tackle position that's gonna be able to stop the run, bring a nasty attitude, and get after the passer first and foremost. And that's the $1 million question. That's why, you know, I think Carter is kind of like, I think just looking at it, I'm not getting to the draft and start looking at players, my opinion might totally change. But for me, for them to have a great offseason, in my opinion, a great draft or whatever, I think if you can end up with Jalen Carter and Jalen Ramsey, oh, your defense is going to be a problem next year. Your defense is going to be a fucking problem. That's exactly what you need. And Jeff Okudah just go to naturally being a number 2 corner. And you could somehow find you a good inside linebacker. Maybe you could pay Levante David to come here temporarily and draft somebody. That's why I kind of wanted them to draft the Chad Moore, whatever his name was, from Wyoming, or the white Wisconsin linebacker last year too, as developed, because they take years to develop for the middle linebackers. But let me know what you think about the trade down scenario. Appreciate the love, support. Man, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop a video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $CJGood313, Venmo, CJGood313. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. Hit the link tree, the first link in the description. Appreciate the love, support, peace.